Hey, check this out, man. We got a quick exclusive that we gonna do right quick. You hear me? Um, we gonna keep it all the way 1,000 for all my people here. Cause Lost Dogg is Lost Dogg Entertainment. You heard me? Welcome to the saga. Survival Muzik 2 is on the way. For sure, for sure. Just be patient with us. You heard me? April 15th. We gonna let y'all have all that smoke. You dig? So yeah, let's get into it. Ready? Alright, cool. Alright, I'm Lost Dogg. I'm from downtown, the 9th ward of New Orleans. One of the most unspoken for regions in the city. Of course, uptown, they had cash money and things like that. But we were one of the most unspoken for parts of the city. Downtown New York, but I actually have a very unique upbringing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm just different. Well, most people from New Orleans, they live and go to school in the same area. If you're from, the 3rd ward, most likely your school was in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Now, nowadays it's different, but back when I was coming up, wherever you went to school at, you most likely lived in that district because it had to be your district school, But my situation is very unique because I lived in the 9th ward, but I always went to school in Mid-City, and then I also went to an uptown school. So I went to Elba Wickham in 4th ward, and then I also went to Samuel J. Peters, which is in the 3rd ward. So I graduated, with those guys from both those schools. So yeah, man, my upbringing is very unique in that sense because most people, if you grew up in the 9th ward, you went to a 9th ward school. Me, I grew up in the 9th ward, but I always went to schools outside of the ward. So which means, my footprint is vast in the city, Yeah, I actually do. I have a new project coming out April 15th, 2026. It's called Survival Muzik 2. It's actually a follow-up to Survival Muzik 1, which is one of my first studio albums that I produced myself, you know what I'm saying? Survival Muzik 2012. Yeah, that was one I produced, and it did pretty good, but this one is going to be way better. So yeah, Survival Muzik 1 was one I produced. Survival Muzik 2, we're gonna be dropping that on April 15th. So y'all keep y'all eyes open for that. I produced and wrote most of those songs, all of the songs on that album, 2012, Survival Muzik. It was supposed to be just a little demo, to shop around. But it actually wound up being my official album. The production wasn't all that because I'm not a producer, but that album actually is the album that I passed on to my now producer, XL, man, who just wound up being my cousin, man. So, shout out to XL, man, matter of fact. But yeah, that album, man, I produced on 2012, Survival Muzik, wrote all the songs. I'm not a producer, so it is what it is, but it got me what I needed to get, got me to the next point. And actually, that 2012 was, at the time there was rumors that the world was going to end in 2012, and so that album was actually implying, that, the world was going to end, and, we were going to have to figure out a way to survive. The world did end as we know it because, of course, social media, took off. But other than that, man, the world did not end. It ended as we knew it. Got it? Survival Muzik 2 is actually, this is a warning. you know, that the world is about to change again. And the world is going to change drastically this time again, with the invention of AI and robots and things like that, you know. So the human labor force, you know, could become obsolete, you know. And what happens if you don't need human labor no more, you know? So we may have to find a way to survive this thing again. That's the whole thing about, you know, about this album. This album here is a warning. You know, it's a warning to all my people. You know, it's a warning to all my people, you know, in the hood, man, who may not be abreast of what's happening, because of course we got all kind of other dumb shit going on, right? But this is a warning that, man, AI is about to change the world, whether you like it or not. So if you're not using AI as a tool, or if you feel like, you know, you won't go against the machine, then, you know, you could be on the other side of history. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, AI is about to change some things to, you know, it could be for the better, but, you know, if history has taught us anything, most of these changes are not beneficial to humans. So this is a warning to all my people that, hey, man, there's about to be a change in 2026, 2027, 2028. You know, that we're going to have to be first aligned with, we're going to have to know what's going on, and then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do in order to combat, you know, what's happening, what's being done to us, you know? So that's what's up. So the album touches on today's news, you know, the things that's going on today. So anything that's in the news right now is probably going to be addressed on this album. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the Epstein files, whether it's the, you know, the war that we in Iran, whether it's, you know, everything is going to be discussed on this album. I'm trying to break it down to the simplest form so that the average Joe can understand. You know what I'm saying? Or the average poopy can understand. You know what I'm saying? For my hood people, you hear me? But yeah, so this album here is gonna take all of the present day news, we're gonna absorb it all, and we're going to break it all down in musical form. Because I still feel like music is the best way to teach. You know, we learned our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s through a song. You know, and that stuff you will never forget because it's forever etched in your brain, in your psyche. And so, yeah, man, we wanna use music in its purest form to teach the people the things they need to know nowadays, right? A lot of people do not feel like picking up books or doing the research themselves. So what I've done is I've done the research for you, and I'm gonna break it down for you in your turn, where you can understand it, and you can also, in turn, go back and re-research what I just told you and make sure that it's true. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna break down everything, man. Everything gonna be touched on this album. Yeah, survival music, because guess what? We have to survive all this stuff. And not only survive, but come out on the other side thriving. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this album is gonna do for my people. My people gonna be abreast of everything that's going on around them. You know, with the information, if you have the information that you need, then you can make sound decisions, you know what I'm saying, or decisions that's beneficial to you and your family, you know, as long as you have the right information. So we're gonna make the information available to them so that y'all can make sound decisions. You heard me? Yeah. Shit, some of the songs to listen for on the album: Flood the Coast, Load the Boats, Forever Running. Man, there's a bunch on there, but those, Michael, that Blizzard. I mean, the whole album. This album, literally, you can put it on one and you can let it go. Let it roll, it's gonna be one of those albums, classic album. I've listened to it 50 or 60 times already, and each time I listen to it, I hear something different. And I recorded it. You feel me? Now, mind you, none of this stuff is written down. I did not write a lyric on this album. This album is a straight download from the Akashic Records, from the universe, but this is all basically freestyle. None of these songs are written down. I straight wrote them into the system, into Logic. I wrote them in Logic. So this is, every time I listen to it, I hear something different. I hear something that's more, a triple entendre or a quadruple entendre. It's all, man. So y'all are definitely in for a treat. As I'm an artist, and I'm also, a fan of music, and I'm loving this album because, again, I'm looking at it and I'm listening at it as a consumer. Lost Dogg recorded this album. I did not write anything. None of these songs are written. They're all downloaded straight from the Akashic to y'all. Facts. Well, of course, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of the social medias. We on those. YouTube page, Lost Dogg 9. All my social medias, most of my social medias, all official Lost Dogg. LOSTDOGG. Yeah, so you can find me, you can Google me. You can put Lost Dogg in Google, and literally, you're going to pull up all of my stuff. LOSTDOGG. Put that in Google, and everything will come up. My Reverb Nation, my website, lostdoggentertainment.com. Everything is there. So just take your time, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the music and my contact so that other people can also get on this, man. Because let me tell you something. The more people that we have that's abreast of what's happening, the less likely of the negative side of these things happen. So we got to make sure that we have as many people that just knows what's going on, because we're going to have to counteract a lot of these things. That's going to be the survival part of this. The survival piece is going to be knowing what's going on and creating, different ways that we're going to attack the situations. We're not going to sit back idle and just let things just fall into place. We're actually going to manifest our destiny. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing over here, Survival Muzik. Then, like I said, on the other side of the survival, we're going to continue to thrive. Yeah, we ain't surviving for the rest of our lives, man. We're going to actually thrive. First of all, what we got to do, everybody that's in power right now, y'all getting out of there because y'all the problems. And that's in all the countries. The people have spoken. The people do not care about all that shit that these top politicians, all the people care about. The people care about the basic living stuff. It's y'all with that greed shit that's the problem. So guess what? And y'all got to go. Anybody that's in power, that got power, that's in any country, people have spoken. Y'all have to go. People have spoken. That's right. So that's what it is, man. Survival Muzik. On the other side of survival, we're gonna thrive. We gotta survive the bullshit. We gotta survive getting these people out of there, so that we can put our real people back in place. The people that about compassion, people that's about love, and the people that's about helping their fellow man. That's what this life is about. This life is not about getting over, taking from, stealing, plundering. It's not about that. And when you're in harmony with life and harmony, you won't get all of the turmoil that you get. And you just keep your eyes out for more natural disasters and things like that, because something is going to have to bring you back down to, to humble humans. Humans have really been tripping. So with that in mind, man, hey, we gotta survive, then we're gonna drive on the other side. Y'all get it? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on all my pages, Lost Dogg with LOSTPOWG, LostDoggEntertainment.com. On all of my social medias, official Lost Dogg. Type me in Google, LOSTPOWG. Got it. Love y'all, man. And as long as I'm here, we always gonna have a plug back to reality. You get it? So yeah, Lost Dogg Entertainment 2026 Survival Muzik Part 2. We just released Change the Game about 2 weeks ago. That was 30 songs. I want y'all to go back, check all of them out, and then that's a catch-up album so that people can catch up to where we at right now and where we going. So yeah, I'll let your boy, man. Y'all already know Lost Dogg Entertainment.com. Official Lost Dogg on all the social medias. And yeah, that's what it is. Peace.